me the first time and haven't had your infection treated, you'll be dead. The only way that you're gonna survive is harder and work at it, okay?
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So we make sure you. That make any sense?
No, you do.
Okay. I get why Justin is upset. I'm toward getting healthy today. But we can't move ahead with surgery if she's still gaining weight. And that will help you a great deal. But that's only if you stay on track and keep this up, okay?
Number 10. Gene Covey. Gene Covey is the divisive Season 7 star that became the fifth My 600-Pound Life cast member to sue Megalomedia, as well as the rest of the show's producers. Gene and her mother, Barbara Fallow, made many of the same allegations as the previous 4 cast members to sue, and further claimed that Megalomedia reneged on a promise to pay approximately $70,000 in medical bills for the pair. In short, Gene's lawsuit claims that she and her mother Barbara were forced to continue filming after Gene's father passed away. It also appears to suggest that producers faked a great deal of Gene's episode in order to reinforce the narrative of failure they had already set up. Viewers met Gene, who began her episode at a peak weight of 702 pounds. Though Gene's mother Barbara traveled with her to Texas to help alongside Dr. Nowaradan, both daughter and mother were devastated by the demise of Gene's father, Lawrence Charles Corrow, approximately 6 months into filming. But the lawsuit at the center of this Gene Covey story suggests much more that we don't even know about. As we've already seen with other cast members, Gene alleges some reality TV fakery at the producer's hands. But the difference with Gene's lawsuit appears to be a matter of degree. Though Gene and Barbara asked to continue the episode after Lawrence's demise, the two were, quote, threatened with a lawsuit if they, quote, did not comply with all of their production demands.
I mean, I had a day that I went over the 1,200 calories.
So what bad? There's no way you're eating 1,200 calories. There's no way you're eating 2,000 calories. There's no way you're eating 4. Why I should believe that when you have every chance to do it, but you're still lying to me? You're overeating.
100 calories because I'm going to prove you wrong that I can do this. I'm going to do it.
You give yourself a really good pass because...
No, I'm not giving myself a pass, but it means that I can do it. A couple weeks or a month or whatever. Everybody's different. And I'm going to do it.
That's when you overfeeding her too.
I understand that. I'm screwing up.
No, you don't. You both lie. What went wrong?
If I knew that, I could tell you. I don't know.
That threat, according to the suit, exasperated Gene's difficulty sticking with Dr. Now's weight loss plan, which then became the sole narrative of Gene's episode. Gene was already dealing with her father's sudden passing, and to be expected to lose all that weight and completely change her lifestyle in such a trying time of her life was just too much for her to handle, and the fact that she is alleging that the show's producers tried to force her to work in that narrative and then showed her as a failure for being unable to lose the weight and qualify for bariatric surgery is terrible. The family also alleged that the producers failed to make good on their promise of covering all medical bills, and it's due to this alleged broken promise that Barbara Fallow is named in the suit. While Gene didn't undergo weight loss surgery and thus incur medical debt, Barbara says that she had an agreement with producers regarding an unexpected hernia surgery. Initially, Barbara's health insurance was going to cover the surgery, but because Barbara was already filming with Gene, Megalomedia offered to pay for all of her surgical costs if Barbara would participate in additional filming. However, when Barbara was in the hospital and about to have hernia surgery, producers had her sign a film release. Afterward, Barbara got a bill for approximately $70,000, which Megalomedia allegedly refuses to pay. This is the largest medical debt of any person that has ever sued the show. Number 9. Penny Sager. My 600-Pound Life Season 2 star, Penny Sager, had a difficult journey on the show, but what happened to her since then? At the start of Penny's 2014 episode, she was 530 pounds, bedridden, and on oxygen at all times. She lived with her husband Edgar and her young son Liam. She sought help from Dr. Now and was determined to lose the weight necessary to qualify for weight loss surgery. She was able to lose 40 pounds in a month and had the operation. However, after her surgery, Penny's weight loss stopped and Dr. Now decided that she should return home. Although Penny insisted that she was following his program perfectly, Dr. Now knew that could not be true because she was not losing any weight. He suspected that she might be sneaking in food. Penny missed several of her appointments with him because she refused to get out of her bed and walk. She had to be taken by ambulance anytime she visited Dr. Now. He was at a loss about how to help her because she was not open to many suggestions. How has Penny fared since her episode aired? In a 2015 My 600 Pound Life Where Are They Now episode, Penny had not made any progress at all with her weight. In fact, it was impossible to know how much she actually weighed because she did not weigh herself. She remained bedridden and on oxygen. She took up couponing, which Dr. Now believed was another way for her to control the food that came into her home.
It's like the last minute. We have to be in the vehicles in like no time. I'm going to be in the back of a van, actually on my house.
Crispy or grilled?
Crispy or grilled?
Crispy.
Grilled?
Crispy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Start losing weight.
Penny done very well. She lost 40 pounds and heroin. We're gonna see losing weight anymore. Penny must have somebody sneaking their food. She figured out how to manipulate psychologically and cooperate and become a person that wants to get well.
Penny was determined to go trick-or-treating with Liam for Halloween, and she was able to get out of her bed and travel the neighborhood with him in a wheelchair. However, Penny always returned to her bed after making any progress. She does not update her social media accounts often. However, a 2019 Facebook post showed her playing with her kitten from her bed. The post was filled with comments made by disappointed viewers who were saddened to see that Penny had not gotten out of her bed since the episode aired. In 2021, she included a frame around her profile picture that announced that she had gotten her COVID-19 vaccine. She also posted some pictures of her son Liam, who is now a teenager. It's always heartbreaking to see Dr. Now try to help someone like Penny who does not seem to want to be helped. Achieving and maintaining significant weight loss and lifestyle changes require long-term commitment and patience. We understand that sustainable change takes time and setbacks are normal. Penny's journey may involve up and downs, and the ability to stay motivated and persevere through challenges is crucial. Hopefully, she is doing better in real life than what we can see on her accounts. Number 8. Pauline Potter. Season 3 of the show featured Pauline Potter, who had quite an interesting weight loss journey since her episode. At one point in her life, Pauline held the Guinness World Record for the world's heaviest female back in 2011. She weighed in at 700 pounds to beat the record. Pauline was relying heavily on her son for her well-being. She decided to seek help so she would be less of a burden, and also because she realized she was endangering herself.
I have to stop and just take care of her and help her.
Dylan is 21, and his full-time job is taking care of me.
Grab some breakfast, honey.
I totally feel like he's the parent and I'm the kid. Is that powerful enough to keep me this way?
Pauline was 51 years old at the time and also had serious health issues due to her weight. Over the course of the show, Dr. Now has seen several patients push back against his weight loss regimen, and Pauline is definitely among them. She weighed 643 pounds coming into the show and initially resisted the 1,200 calorie diet that she was placed on.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God.
I can't believe that I weigh almost 700 pounds.
So I see that you're 670 pounds.
Chips, or it could be cookies, or it could be ice cream. Even if I'm physically full,
Who buys those?
I'll send my son. But I know what you're gonna say, and it's really not.
So you already know the solution. You already know the answer. You already know the problem, but because weight loss surgery is only gonna limit what you're gonna eat, and you should go to a zero carb diet. And I want you to lose.
At one point, Pauline gave up on the weight loss journey altogether. Pauline almost did not get the weight loss surgery due to the fact that she actually gained weight while on the show. She recorded a peak weight of 678 pounds while under Dr. Now's care, which is absolutely insane. How can you come onto a platform completely focused on losing weight with all the support and care you could need to do so, but somehow you still manage to gain even more? Even if she wasn't following his diet properly, we could expect her to not lose weight and instead reach a plateau stage, but the fact that she actually gained weight during the program shows just how little effort she was putting in. Pauline felt that Dr. Now was just overreacting when he felt that he should withdraw her from the program. However, every viewer of the show praises Dr. Now for his no-nonsense personality and approach to these situations. Eventually, Pauline picked up on the weight loss journey and lost 44 pounds, and Dr. Now approved her surgery. After her weight loss surgery, it was still no easy task for Pauline as she continued to gain weight instead of losing much more weight faster. She eventually revealed that she struggled with another addiction after her surgery. Pauline got addicted to pain medication, which became another hurdle for her. She eventually managed to find her way back and lost about 300 pounds to qualify for skin removal surgery. 8 years after setting the record for being the world's heaviest female, Pauline is among the people on the show that have lost the most weight. Pauline recorded that she is stopping her weight loss journey back in 2019 after losing a whopping 520 pounds. She is originally from California, and after several years in Houston, Texas, she shared that she was ready to go back to her home state.
I've been eating only salads and meat and no snacks in between. Like, I'm doing really good on that.
Because of her controlled diet, now that we have her weight going in the right direction, to make decision to be healthy on her own, if she doesn't, the surgery will be waste.
Well, not right now, not this minute.
Why not?
Because I'm not dressed.
This is not fair. Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it right now.
This is not a picking and choosing thing. Pauline has been in the hospital, is biggest problem right now. Are you ready?
Ouch.
Able to make a lot of progress with Pauline's weight loss. So I'm gonna discharge her now.
Number 7. Michael Blair. Michael Blair, a 45-year-old Texas man, is most known for his appearance in Season 9, where he initiated his weight loss journey. At the time of his debut, Michael was 609.5 pounds and had unhealthy eating habits that started at a young age. His grandmother played a major role in kickstarting his food addiction by feeding him too often daily. As a result, Michael was already well over 100 pounds at 7 years old. He faced various challenges since childhood, including molestation and depression. Food can provide comfort and a temporary sense of relief from emotional pain or distress. Children like Michael who experience harm and neglect may turn to overeating as a way to self-soothe and cope with overwhelming emotions such as fear, sadness, or anxiety. Food can serve as a source of emotional support and provide a temporary escape from the negative emotions associated with neglect and exploitation. But unfortunately, by the time kids grow up, this may become a dangerous and unbreakable habit. Overeating can even be a subconscious attempt to regain a sense of control or create a physical barrier to protect oneself from further harm. Michael used food as a support system until he found a passion for martial arts. While the reality star lost some weight due to his new interests, he quickly relapsed after getting married due to poor eating habits. Soon after, Michael was in an accident that stopped him from getting gastric bypass surgery, leading him to become 600 pounds. During the show, Dr. Now helped Michael drop 61 pounds in 3 months. By the 10th month, he was down 97 pounds and rejoined his martial arts training.
I got lots of excuses, but it doesn't matter.
Good. Well, it's understandable. That's getting hard before we're ready to do that. Maybe next time, if you stick with it and get back on track, okay?
Active and improving myself. It's just been harder the past few months, but I'm trying and I'm not giving up. I mean, I've lost.
Harder and work at it, okay?
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So we make sure you have done that sooner. Then give me a call to set up your appointment, and we will do it then. So you both keep at it, work hard, and if you need anything, give me a call.
We will.
See y'all later. Work harder if he wants to succeed at this. Because losing more weight is the only option he has. We likely won't be able to get him back on track.
Obesity is the result of long-standing lifestyle habits and behaviors that are deeply ingrained. Unhealthy eating patterns, sedentary lifestyles, and a lack of physical activity have become routine and automatic for people like Michael that appear on the show. Breaking these habits and adopting new, healthier ones require significant effort, consistency, and sustained motivation, and Michael was one of the people who had the guts to do it. The Texas resident lost over 135 pounds, a sign of deep dedication and his newfound positive mindset. Apart from his impressive transformation, Michael has also achieved balance in his personal life. Apparently, he's still married to his wife, and the two are going strong based on their social media posts. Number 6. Stephen Asante. Stephen John Asante, properly known as Stephen Asante, is a reality TV alum. He was featured on the final 2 episodes of the 5th season of the show. Before his appearance on the program, he drew a lot of attention as a guest on Dr. Phil's House of Hatred in 2007. At that time, he weighed 800 pounds. He used such appearances to his advantage and capitalized it with a series of bizarre YouTube videos. He drew attention of the channel when he appeared in a local news broadcast in 2015. Steven reported that a hospital kicked him out for violating gastric bypass preparation and ordering a pizza. Shortly after, the channel cast him in their show.
Off myself and I it up.
Tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. I'm really happy that you're taking Dr. Now's help, and it is a very diet soon too. But now look at me. So I'm losing a lot of weight.
I know.
Throttle to get the surgery.
Yep.
Okay, don't do what I did before surgery, because that's probably why I woke up in pain. Well, it's gonna take a while to rebuild, okay? And we may never rebuild, but thank you. I do love my brother. I want to support Justin through this process the way he's been supporting me throughout the whole entire.
Is in here. I said, let me tell you something, it's gonna stop. But he wanted his way. He used to threaten me and say, look.
Steven was born on December 2nd, 1981. He and his younger brother, Justin Asante, were born to an alcoholic mother. She separated from her husband when the boys were 11 and 5. The kids moved in with their mother but suffered a lot of harm caused by their mom's new boyfriend. They would find respite in binge eating and would often consider it as their means of coping with the trauma. Steven developed a habit of eating and became greedy. According to his younger brother, he would eat everything before Justin. Steven, too, agreed with what his brother said. He considered food his comfort through all the good and bad situations of his life. Regardless of it, eating could not help him deal with some issues already existing in his life.
And at this rate, we may be able to consider some skin removal for you. See, how's this?
It's a lot more squishier and stuff. I think it was a lot larger when I first
If you
started.
do any procedure like that, you have to keep up with your hygiene. Because it seems like you still need to, that's scaly. Are you able to take a shower every day?
Yeah, I try my best to stay.
So you can be in the habit if we're gonna consider surgery. But you're doing well overall. Are you?
No, following doctor's orders. So
only took a year and a half.
shut up.
Do psychotherapy.
Okay.
We will set an appointment for you. I'm cautiously optimistic right now. I say I'm gonna have a report sent to me. The concern is that if Steven wants to get painkillers, he will find a way. And if he tries to do anything, that he keeps going to psychotherapy, because the addiction will always be there.
Right from the moment he was seen in the show, Steven was not liked by many people. He got a lot of flack because of his bad attitude. The audience were put off by his personality, and he is easily one of the most disliked people to be ever featured on the show. He refused to follow a prescribed eating plan and also threw tantrums throughout the show. In some episodes, even Dr. Now was driven to the point of madness that he threatened to drop him out of the show.
All right, tell Justin to come in and sit down, and we'll see him after.
He's not gonna. I'll ask him, but I know.
No. This is part of the problem. You just let these two do. You don't go ask him. You tell him that you come in right. So you need to act like a father.
No, I know. But I mean,
No.
I can't fight with him if he says no.
That make any sense?
No, you do.
Okay. I get why Justin is upset.
I know. I'm gonna.
No.
I'm gonna tell him.
You need to come out of this role of being neutral. Listen to you from this point, he's on his own. Tell him he needs to come in. If you did this one more time, that's it. Didn't I?
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have this problem starts with your dad. In life, there is and get away with it.
Yeah.
But don't sit there and think by agreeing with me right now, you're supposed to be there, then this game is over for you. But even if you don't find anything, you wait that clean. If you want any chance to stay on this program, then you need to lose who are dependent on you. And if you don't change that, they won't change either. Because don't help them.
Yeah.
Because they're both out of control. And in a society, both of your kids to have a chance to outlive you, then you need to make these changes now.
During the show, Steven developed an addiction to painkillers that eventually forced the doctor to kick him out of the show and send him to rehab. Steven was constantly found cheating on the diet plan prescribed by the doctor. His younger brother revealed that Steven had abused and tortured him as a child. The fans of the show were not happy seeing his behavior towards his father and brother. In one of the events, things became so bitter that Doctor now threatened to call the cops. Steven misbehaved with the hospital staff and often threw tantrums. Some fans even claimed that he was mentally unfit to remain on the show and needed therapy. Steven got married to Stephanie Sanger after his time on the show. He claimed that the fame he garnered from the series affected his marriage. He also said that the editing on the show only featured his bad points. His wife backed up this statement when she said he was nice rather than problematic. While Justin admitted that their episode was a bit exaggerated, it accurately portrayed how difficult Steven can be. In February of 2023, a rumor was spread that Steven's heart had given out at age 40. However, Justin, who stays out of the spotlight, addressed the rumors online. Justin refuted the allegations that Steven had perished, and although the brothers were estranged, he assured the media that Steven was still alive.
He's casually asking for some pain medication, but his body language shows that he really wants to. Hospital staff.
I need somebody in my room immediately. I have been waiting.
Number 5. Drew Stewart. TLC's Family by the Ton follows two families dealing with weight loss issues for quite a long time. Both are shown to have a combined weight of over 2,000 pounds, and the show documents how they change their lifestyle and bring in good habits to shed some pounds. Among one of the members of a family on this show was Drew Stewart. He knew his life was in danger if he continued with his unnatural weight gain. Witnessing his family members take a step toward healthy living inspired him, and like everyone else, he took the doctor's help to guide him on the challenging journey. Initially, Drew found it difficult even to stand properly, and walking outdoors was out of the question. Nevertheless, he got himself ready for surgery towards the end of the show through a controlled diet and regular exercise. Stewart's 6-month surgery prep consisted of completely overhauling his diet and adding exercise into his daily regimen. He met with a nutritionist who helped him get his portions under control and learn what types of food he should be eating. Then came the exercise. At the time, Stewart could barely walk from his house to the car. Over the course of 6 months, he worked up to being able to walk 1.5 miles and even got into swimming. Stewart ended up losing 50 pounds in the 6 months, and soon enough he was undergoing gastric bypass surgery and went off without a hitch. The surgery shrunk Stewart's stomach, drastically decreasing his appetite and helping him lose an additional 125 pounds.
From each other and help with each other's struggles where, you're only
10 pieces.
Why did you order so many pieces?
Because we didn't cook. I'm definitely gonna do that myself.
I might have to take a bite.
Here we go, man. Whew. Our pizza's gone.
Right.
But their pizza.
From time to time, I figure what's the harm? Gotta take home something. I have to knock it off with this overeating before it kills me.
Bringing his weight down to 498 pounds and a total loss of 175 pounds. Perhaps the biggest eye-opener for Stewart came 3 months after post-surgery when he went in for a checkup with his doctor, and the doctor took him off of the diabetes and hypertension medication he previously needed to survive, and that was a huge accomplishment for him.
He is definitely over 550. Okay. Hold this around here, okay? Just readjust. Okay. Yes. So normally when the scalpel says stop, it just means that we can't.
After all of this, that I still don't know how much I weigh.
Number 4. Gina Crassley. Gina Crassley appeared on My 600-Pound Life Season 8 in January 2020 during Episode 5. She shared that she became addicted to food while she lived with her abusive father even after her mother divorced him. Eating was definitely a major source of solace, and it was Gina's coping mechanism as she lived with harm, depression, and anxiety.
Marriage that I want because of the weight that she's at.
Eating, it makes me feel good, it makes me feel safe, it makes me feel happy.
Agree because I feel like she's given up completely.
And I'll get your bucket and get that ready for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's to get your clothes and your towel, and then you're all set to get washed up, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Help me get powdered and get dressed.
Yes.
She shared that by the time she graduated from high school, she was about 450 pounds. Her weight rose to 500 pounds by age 19. Weight loss became a goal for the future My 600 pound life star, with Gina revealing that she felt guilty about how her weight affected her wife and her marriage. She could not move easily, which meant that Gina's spouse had to take care of her needs, and this put a strain on their relationship. Gina weighed in at about 607 pounds, and to qualify for bariatric surgery, she needed to slim down on her own. The New Jersey resident struggled with shedding weight and even had her surgery canceled due to that issue. However, she was given several chances to change her body. It is always important for patients to follow Dr. Now's strict guidelines. And later on, Gina lived with her wife, sister, mother, dog, and sister's fiance. Gina's passion for dancing was considerable, and she gained notoriety on TikTok for a viral dance trend that she started. Her viral trend got well over 3 million views on TikTok. Sadly, while the My 600 pound life celebrity lost significant weight, Gina passed away on August 1st, 2021. In one of her videos on YouTube, she had revealed to fans that she managed to get her weight down to about 300 pounds. In one of Gina's last videos, she shared that she had gone to the hospital due to trouble walking and an eating disorder. Gina further shared on her YouTube channel that she was suffering from cellulitis and had been in the hospital. Cellulitis is a common bacterial skin infection that causes redness, swelling, and pain in the infected area of the skin. If untreated, it can spread and cause serious health problems. When she was finally able to make it to the hospital, Gina was severely dehydrated. She said that doctors were able to get the infection under control with the help of antibiotics, and her heart wasn't affected. Gina also mentioned suffering from anxiety, which would often increase her heart rate. She sadly passed away at home in Tuckerton, New Jersey, surrounded by family. In a separate video, Gina was home and discussed still not being able to walk and not having any feeling in her hands. Despite her health issues, Gina was in good spirits in her last weeks and mentioned the fact that she got a fish named Bubbles. It isn't clear if her mystery illness contributed to her passing, as the cause of her demise was never released to the public.
Well, that's normal to be nervous because you're going to surgery, you're not going to picnic.
Right, that's true.
Okay. I guess I'm moving in the right direction. But you showed me today that you're not sticking with it like you need.
I'm just really mad at myself right now because I've been working so hard.
Or getting weight loss surgery from me. You got it?
I got it. I understand.
They have to getting healthy today. But we can't move ahead with surgery if she's still gaining weight. So a bit ago, I was hopeful it was a sign that she was finally starting to turn things around.
It's to get your clothes and your towel, and then you're all set to get washed up, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just really mad at myself right now because I've been working so hard. Help me get powdered and get dressed.
Yes.
Number 3. Theodric Barnes. Throughout its 10 seasons since its launch in 2012, this show has featured astounding tales of weight reduction. Many of them serve as role models for viewers by motivating them to work hard to transform their lives from being on the verge of demise to fit, healthy individuals. Theodric Barnes was one such cast member who appeared in Season 9, Episode 2 of the show. His positive approach and potential to make impactful changes in his life made him quite famous among viewers. Theodric Barnes appeared in Season 9 of the show as a 32-year-old weighing 740 pounds. He was from Florida and lived with his mother, totally dependent on her for his survival. He barely got out of his house, but only when the ice cream man came by and he could get his comfort food for breakfast.
I get for you today. Lee, what's going on? All right. Let me get 3 sodas. 3 sodas. 2 strawberry shortcake. All right. An ice cream sandwich. 2 fudge round pies. All right. Appreciate you. All right. So that's how I start my breakfast.
This was a regular thing, as he also maintained a long-term account with the ice cream vendor and was the only time of the day he got any exercise, because it would be the only time he actually put in the effort to get out of bed and move about. Theodric struggled every day because of his size and also the lymphedema which developed in his lower body. He also suffered many growing health issues, leading to a sudden hospitalization, thus scarring him for his life. As he finally began realizing the amount of damage his excess weight was doing to his health and body, he decided to take a journey to Houston and meet Dr. Now. Because of his weight and excess skin around his entire body, Thedrick had a difficult journey lying at the back of his mother's van with his seats pulled down. He could hardly move or even get out of the car to go to the bathroom as he was in a lot of pain. However, he still managed to stop for fast food on his way, and his mother sometimes also became an enabler, allowing him to gulp on junk food before seeing the doctor. After Thedrick was given a strict diet, he initially had a tough time following every instruction and even missed an appointment with Dr. Now, which made him see the latter via video call. He also had to meet a nutritionist and learn about all the foods he was eating to know which food was impacting him negatively and why. For example, although fruits are healthy, Thedrick was restricted from having them in order to cut any form of sugar. Although Thedrick struggled for a while to lose his weight, he later managed to lose 125 pounds and thus brought down his weight to 615 pounds. After such a triumph, Dr. Now was very happy and proud of Thedrick, and he was immediately approved for bariatric surgery. Unfortunately, when Thedrick was checked for any health complications before his surgery, the doctors found that he had a weak heart, which made the surgery risky for his life. As a result, he was asked to lose some more weight before he could get approved for the surgery. Thedrick continued losing more weight after his time on the show and did a phenomenal job at it. In fact, he ultimately did get permission for surgery from the doctors. He lost tons of weight after getting the gastric bypass surgery and also after his lymphedema got removed.
Close. So, since you lost that weight, I'm going to approve you for weight loss surgery. Because if you don't stay on track, we won't move ahead. And we're going to do some testing on you. As long as you lost 25 pounds in the next one and your tests look good, we will move ahead. Then we're going to do some tests on him. In the meantime, if you all need anything, give me a call. Okay?
Number 2. Silas Givens. Many people have sought Dr. Now's assistance over the years, some of whom began with a rather strong and determined approach. Silas Givens, who was a cast member in Season 7, Episode 17, also had a similar journey. He established a reputation as a committed patient who was determined to lose weight and make his family proud. Givens was a Detroit, Michigan native who weighed 729 pounds when he appeared in Season 7 in 2019. Because of his massive weight, Givens was stuck in his medical bed all day and had been living on dependent life for more than 2 years. Moreover, he also needed oxygen support, which meant he relied on his girlfriend Jessica to lead his daily life. Givens' family comprised of Jessica, her 2 daughters, Brooklyn and Emily, and their 3rd daughter together, Nevaeh. His food addiction mainly stemmed from his childhood when he felt unloved and neglected by his stepfather. Although he assured that he never faced a scarcity of any kind, meaning his father provided everything except for the father-son bond he always craved for. However, Givens did not want a similar relationship with his daughters, hence he was motivated enough to take stringent actions to lose weight and gain back his life. Thus, he journeyed to Houston along with Jessica with the help of medical professionals who had to carry him to his car. Givens did not have a comfortable ride because of his weight and he was incapable of walking, which is why he was immediately hospitalized by Dr. Now.
The food that he eats every day as a routine, it's comfort, and that's it. But I do feel like I'm enabling him. I do it.
I don't need to be rich. I want to be able to take her on a date, you know.
Starting to get there. You made it down to 371. Come a long way from being over 700. You need that oxygen that you were dependent on.
No, that's been my biggest accomplishment so far, is not having to lug that thing around and getting out and I can go to the store with Jessica, and it's like my whole life has completely changed in the last year.
That's good. Be a totally different person.
Looking forward to it.
So you're doing great, but you still have a long one, few months. We can start considering removing some of your lymphedema and excess skin.
Yes, sir.
All right, we get you to your target weight less than a year.
Awesome.
Way to go to make sure your weight loss is not temporary. And then once you get closer to 300, and that will help you a great deal. But that's only if you stay on track and keep this up, okay?
Awesome. After remaining in the hospital for a month and following the controlled diet, Givens lost a whopping 139 pounds and was transferred to a rehab facility to regain the ability to walk. Givens then lost about 73 more pounds in rehab, after which he was sent back home to lose some weight by himself. Although he initially struggled to lose weight in the same momentum, he soon picked up the pace and lost enough to get approval for the bariatric surgery. Thus, by the end of his episode, after undergoing surgery and continuing his weight loss post after that, He successfully lost around 388 pounds, ultimately weighing 341 pounds. After the show, Givens also opened a private Facebook group called Let's Get Healthy with Jessica and 2 other admins in 2019, where they encourage each other to lead a healthier lifestyle. After such a drastic transformation, he looked completely different and was a much more active person. 2 years since beginning his weight loss surgery, Givens brought down his weight to 226 pounds and was only around 10 pounds away from reaching his goal weight. He was also getting ready to get the excess skin removal surgery to finally end his association with Dr. Now. Givens and Jessica finally got married on March 12, 2019 and lived together with their daughters and their dog Loki in Enid, Oklahoma.
You guys ready to go have fun?
I'm ready to catch some fish, yes sir.
Heck yeah, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You do that right there.
Straight out here?
Yes, sir.
Titus.
Let me touch his toe. I have a little ways left to go to get to my target weight.
Probably more than 1,200.
I would imagine. It's probably like a bite for them. Not be tired and be ready to go do something else. I spent enough time laying in bed. See what's in this little pen right
Oh
here.
my gosh, they're porcupines.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Look how big they are.
Dr. Now said at the weight I'm at now, I can go back down to Houston and get the skin removal around my stomach anytime.
Number 1. James Bedard. Even with Dr. Now's tremendous help and effort, we know some featured folks on the show crash and burn due to the continuous hard work and pressure, while others, like Season 10's James Bedard, managed to flourish. At the age of 38, James Bedard knew that his food addiction had gone to such an extreme that it could kill him any day, but he also didn't have the willpower to stop eating. He often attempted to walk away, yet he always returned mere minutes later feeling like he had to finish everything as if it were the purpose.
The amount of stuff that you could get is just crazy, so I get excited. It's like the shit the hell. 10 minutes later, for some reason, I'm back at it again. Something in my head is telling me, it takes away all the issues. Everything just goes away whenever I have that first bite. It just, you feel like nobody could see you. It gives me everything I want. But there's nothing worse. I gotta hold up the rails when I come downstairs. All right, so I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Let's make those moves.
Let's go make these moves. Afraid you gonna make me fall?
Nah, I got it.
You sure? Come on, let's go.
My friend.
When we finally see him after the COVID and stuff like that, we seen that he got bigger.
James even conceded that although he understood the risks his massive frame posed to his functionality, he couldn't help but think about food every second of every day. It limited his mobility and experiences, but he still pushed his limits to keep up with his hygiene. James had always been big, but it seemingly started with the plentiful helpings of the Caribbean meals he grew up eating. As per his account, his father wasn't in his life much, and whenever his mother returned from work in the evenings, he always cleaned up the plate she served him. That was crucial family time for him, but it eventually led to him crossing the 100-pound mark at the age of 6. From there, James's addiction began, and he even went as far as to befriend the lunch ladies at his school so that they'd give him snacks whenever he wanted, meaning that he ate all day. James weighed 300 pounds at 8 years old, only to gain 200 more in the following decade. However, things changed for the worse once he landed a job in security straight out of high school, as the money enabled him to order whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. In need of change, James moved to Florida at 23 and pursued a career in music, during which he found a partner who put them both on a diet for better and safer lives. His weight stabilized for a bit, yet he couldn't stick to it, and thus, feeling like a burden, he returned to New York, turning the relationship long distance. After more than a year of being in New York and depending on his brother, cousins, and friends to help him out, James Bedard decided to take on Dr. Now's program and soon learned that he weighed 625 pounds.
Yes, I am.
And who's this young lady?
That's my
Cheyenne.
cousin, Cheyenne.
I'm his cousin Cheyenne.
All right.
Then I need to get this weight off of me.
Okay. So you're 625 pounds. And what you have been?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how do you think you got to this point?
I'm eating outside foods. I'm not able to cook for myself because my cooking's not that good on a day-to-day basis. Lunch, breakfast, dinner. It's getting unhealthy meals from outside delivery.
Well, they can deliver the salads. So the issue is the food you're choosing and the amount.
Because of my weight.
So you're depressed because of your weight, and your weight is depressing you, and then you eat?
Listen, I just block myself out from the world. you know?
Bedard lost his father in the initial few months of his weight loss journey, but despite the grief and personal struggles stalling his process for a while, he did ultimately manage to get back on track. With the help of his support system, James ate healthily and exercised, and slowly learned how to be out in public and not use food as a coping mechanism. And in 12 months, James lost an astounding 119 pounds and got approved for the assist surgery. And that's all for today's video, folks. We'll see you next time at the next one.